Hello, everyone. So this week I was on BBC Radio 2's trivia show called Midnight Mastermind. And this is where they have the host just a little bit after midnight every day bring on an expert. And I got to be the expert this week in my chosen subject of microgravity. And then that host learns what that subject is and gets one song to be able to research it on Wikipedia and the internet wherever they want, and then have to answer 3 questions from the expert about it. So I got the audio from my appearance on BBC Radio 2, and I wanted to share it with you all here. So in case you missed it, see how well you do. There's 3 questions. If you're into microgravity science, I think you can do pretty well, but we'll see. So yeah, that's coming up next. Hope you enjoy.
Now, Midnight Mastermind.
Well, I've done 1 so far of a possible 5 attempts at a full house. Last night, it was the wonderful Dave, but I got nervous when he told me he was a professor of biology. No, not for me, Clive. He was quizzing me on
bumblebees.
Yeah. At least he had the good grace to tell me they're different to honeybees, because for a minute I'm going to him, oh, right, so do you wear the full suit then with the black mesh mask? And no, that's not bumblebees. You live and learn, eh? Tuesday the 22nd of October. Let's say good morning to Midnight Mastermind contestant and find out where you're... Hang on, do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to have to do this on air. Which one?
It's on Skype, Phil.
Thank you. Sorry, should have asked before. My fault. Midnight Mastermind contestant, your name, please, and whereabouts in the world are you?
Hi, I'm Erin Winnick Anthony, and I'm in Houston, Texas.
Hey, Erin in Houston, Texas. I love that accent. Say Houston, Texas one more time for me.
Houston, Texas.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, you've got the job. Excellent. How's Houston, Texas? I always think Texas is always boiling. Doesn't matter what month. It's always hot.
We're actually pretty pleasant right now. I can't complain. We got a lovely breeze. I'm close to the water.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, nice. Okay. What's your chosen specialist subject for me?
Well, I'm sorry to say we got some more science for you, but it's a microgravity.
Microgravity?
Yes.
Okay.
Floating in space.
Okay. Well, I tell you what goes up, my score will definitely come down. Candy Staten, Young Hearts, Run Free in Microgravity. See? And we don't just throw this together. I've got the wonderful Erin in Houston, who's on Midnight Mastermind, who's about to ask me some questions on her specialist subject, which is, Erin?
Microgravity.
I should point out, by the way, that because Erin's on a really good source, she's also on a telly in my studio, so I can see her. So I could see you bopping out to that one. You enjoyed that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, enjoyed a bit of Candy Staten. Now, they obviously tell me nothing about this, so that I only find out what we're doing when I ask the contestant. But then during that record, Will did say to me that you've experienced microgravity. So how much of that can you tell us without blowing any of your questions you're about to ask me?
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask you one question about it, but I went on a parabolic flight,
Right.
which is a flight that goes like up and down a bunch and allows you to experience microgravity. I just did this last month and it was incredible.
Oh, wow. Does it make you feel a bit nauseous?
I was okay. No one on my flight got sick, but I know it has a reputation for that.
Okay. I don't want to be too gross, because even though it's late here, but if you were to have been sick in that process, would it have just hovered in the air in front of you?
Yeah, until you went down to the other parabola and then it hits the ground, sadly. So, but luckily they give you medicine and bags and stuff, so
Right.
you're prepared.
How long were you experiencing? Did you experience zero gravity?
So that's the microgravity and zero gravity are similar, but a little different. And zero gravity is a lot harder to experience because you actually have to be really far away from Earth. But the question on how long, I'm going to actually ask you in a second.
Yeah,
so
okay, fine. All right, okay, sorry. One more.
All
Just
good.
you didn't just do this by chance. This is your expertise, isn't it? This is your field of profession.
Yeah, so I worked for the International Space Station program for about 4 years, where there's a lot of microgravity, sharing the stories of science on the International Space Station. And now I run my own science communication business. And also, if I sound familiar, I was on Midnight Mastermind a few weeks ago talking about my other specialist topic, pinball. So now I'm talking about my career as opposed to my hobby.
I don't think pinball was me, though, was it?
No, that was not.
No, that's good. Because when you said it, I thought, I don't recall getting zero on pinball. Do you know what?
No.
There's as you mentioned pinball, right? I don't even know why. I tell you what, my 5-year-old is banging to Batman 1966. You know, the Adam West TV one.
Yes.
And you can get that as a pinball machine, right? Because we saw it somewhere. So I said to him, he said, Dad, can we get one for our house? So I said, well, I'll see how much they are. This pinball machine is the best part of £18,000.
That's a really expensive one.
Yeah. So we won't be getting that. He said, can I ask Father Christmas for it? I said, you can, but I don't know if he does credit.
Midnight Mastermind.
Right then, microgravity with Erin in Houston, who has experienced microgravity herself just a month ago. This is fresh primary evidence on Midnight Mastermind. Go. Question number 1.
All right. So if you were to set a flame in microgravity, what shape would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was going to tell you, by the way, that it was quite a difficult one to research. So in the end, I went to NASA's page to research what is microgravity. And it was a 5-minute read, and they suggested it was for American grades 5 to 8. That's the level you're dealing with me, okay?
Sounds good.
What shape would the flame be? Well, I'm going to go upside down.
It's going to be a sphere.
A sphere?
Actually.
I really thought it was going to be. Do you know why I said upside down? Because you've already used the word parabola. And so I thought, well, if it's, normally you see a flame pointing up to the...
That's fair.
Yeah, okay. Wow, sphere. Okay. But I presume you're not allowed to test that theory, are you, when you're on this flight?
No, I was not. But on the space station, they've done it in confined spaces, and it looks beautiful. Highly recommend looking up pictures of flames in microgravity.
Okay. Well, that's my next rabbit hole then. Question number 2.
All right, this is the one you asked me a second ago.
Okay.
So parabolic flights allow you to experience microgravity
Yeah.
for about how long at a time without ever going to space?
So, for clarity, do you mean what was the duration of the flight, or how long were you just floating around?
How long were you floating at the top of each parabola on this plane flight?
I mean, the short answer is I've no idea. They didn't cover that on this NASA research paper from February 2012. So, let's have a guess then. How long we... it could be anything, couldn't it? I don't suppose you could give me multiple choice to help a friend out, could you?
Sure, let's go for it. You ready? Let's give you a few options. 5 seconds?
Yeah.
30 seconds? 2 minutes?
2 minutes feels way too long. I'm going to go 5 seconds.
It's 30 seconds.
I nearly went. I thought, she's going to put it in the middle. I nearly went in the middle. We're having no joy here. Wow. And so now that you've told me that, describe those 30 seconds to us.
So basically, you're laying on the ground, and then suddenly you're not anymore. You can just push off and float up into the air, do some flips nonstop until you basically hit a wall. It's kind of incredible.
Was this filmed when you did it? Have you got a permanent record of it?
I do, yes. They had
that's
GoPros
amazing.
set up all around the inside of the plane.
Oh, that's amazing. Will you send us some of that and we can put it out on the socials?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay. So I'm not doing very well, but I'm having a great time with you. Question number 3.
All right. So on the space station, astronauts always appear to be floating and in zero gravity, as you said. But actually, what % of Earth's gravity do astronauts experience? I'll give you some multiple choice again if you'd like.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
All right. So your multiple choice are 10%, 50%, or 90% of Earth's gravity.
So, okay. I kind of skirted around this with the revision. I saw a thing on this NASA page which said if 90% of Earth's gravity reaches the International Space Station, then why do astronauts float there? And it's because they're in free fall, right?
You got it. That's 90%. Yes.
Yeah. So given that one of your options was 10, would I be
No,
barking up?
it's 90. You got.
I got 90. Right, I'm there already.
Yes.
Stop talking, William. Stop talking. I've got the
got it,
point.
you got
Okay,
it,
great.
yeah.
Oh, lovely. All right, brilliant. Well, I'll settle with that then. I kind of feel like I've salvaged a point.
There you go.
But the crowd love you. Listen to the applause for you. So, how did it come about? How did you get invited to be on this flight?
Because I share science about microgravity, so I might be able to be flying on some more, sharing the research that happens on these flights to study space technology.
What a brilliant experience.
Yeah. So cool.
Also, I just want to convey, because obviously I can see you in vision, when you talk about it, the smile on your face is enormous. Yeah.
I love
it's
some
lovely.
space and science.
How can people find out a bit more about your work and that? Is it published? Do you put stuff on socials? How do we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Erin Winnick, ErinWinick, and I share tons of stuff about space and science there.
Brilliant. Erin Winnick, brilliant. Right, so you're going to send us some video of you experiencing microgravity. We'll pump that out on our channels for you. And I thought, as we've been talking about space, it seems only fair to find you a space song. And this is the first one we could lay our hands on. Should we see whether you know it?
Okay. I don't know it from the intro.
Okay. I mean, there's a few more seconds yet. We don't have to call time on it just yet. You were very kind with multiple choice. I'll give you 10 more seconds. Talking kind of late 90s. You're probably too young.
I was expecting Space Oddity, to be honest.
Oh,
So we'll see.
These are the Prodigy with Outer Space, and I'll dedicate it to you, Erin. Take care. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. All right, so how did you do? Put in the comments if you got 1, 2, or 3 right. I think it was kind of interesting. I thought he got the hardest one right out of all of them, but I guess that's what you get in 3 minutes of research. You never know what you're going to learn. And by the way, I was also on this same show talking about pinball a couple weeks ago as well, and I should have that coming out as well soon, but that will probably be over on a Wormhole Pinball, my friends who also create some awesome pinball content. And if you were going to be on the show, what would your chosen specialist subject be? Put that down below as well. So thanks, y'all. Hoping to have some more long form content coming out on YouTube soon. Thank you for following. Appreciate it.